The tale begins at a school where our main character, Ushi-Q, strolls in. He muses on the quirks of human nature, wondering why people fear the unknown, especially death and darkness. Among all these fears, the one that troubles him most is his fear of girls. As he wanders lost in thought, his worst nightmare materializes. A girl, a mystery he can't crack, asks for his attention. His fear surges as he recalls past encounters with girls that left him bewildered. He remembers borrowing an eraser, only to be met with an unsatisfied expression when he returned a new one the next day. Another time, he practiced baking cookies for Valentine's Day, only to receive a cold reaction. These experiences have left him terrified of girls. The girl approaches, grabs his tie, and questions his disheveled appearance. Ushi is shocked, thinking this is their first meeting, yet she acts so familiarly. Panic sets in, but he tries to calm himself using his emergency anti-girl evasion skill. He begins counting in his mind. By the time he reaches 458, the girl steps back, saying she's finished. He sighs in relief, realizing he should thank her but struggles to find the right words. Avoiding direct eye contact, he spots something slightly off in her hair and tells her there's a strand out of place. But then worry creeps in. Had he overstepped? The girl smiles, saying it's a new style, not a mistake. His heart races as he stammers an apology, but she thanks him and walks away. As she departs, he feels a mix of confusion and relief. Maybe he doesn't understand girls, but he managed to navigate this encounter. Walking through the school halls, he resigns himself to the thought that he'll never get along with girls, fearing them most. After classes, he heads to the school store. Inside, a group of girls gossip, making his anxiety spike. He holds his breath, activating his anti-presence skill to avoid drawing attention. Glancing at a table of love letters and flowers, he thinks how useless such things are for him. After attending his classes, he packs his bag, relieved the day is over. He looks forward to going home and rewatching his favorite episode of Wednesday Downtown. As he prepares to leave the store, he's suddenly bombarded with a flurry of letters thrown in his direction. Shocked, he picks them up, only to find their love letters, each addressed to him. Memories of girls gossiping about love letters flood his mind. He panics, receiving even one seems impossible, let alone 4. He nervously opens them, convinced they're a prank. But to his astonishment, each letter is indeed for him, from girls named Mam, Kabui, Mogu, and Musha. Overwhelmed, he reluctantly goes to meet them. Each girl introduces herself in a quirky way and confesses her feelings for him. After the meetings, he sits in the bathroom, trembling with fear and confusion. He can't comprehend how this could happen to him. Were these really love letters? His mind races with thoughts of a prank, but he can't fathom why anyone would prank him, a plain, unremarkable guy. Amidst his fear, he notices a surprising emotion rising within him. He's blushing. Why is he feeling a strange sense of happiness at receiving love letters when he's always been afraid of girls? Taking a deep breath, he realizes he has time to respond to their confessions. But the situation is far from normal, and his usual evasion skills seem useless. He sighs, trying to come to terms with this unexpected turn of events. Suddenly, a man climbs up to his bathroom door and offers to help him solve his problem. Startled, Ushi questions the man's identity as he jumps down inside. The man reveals himself as Kazken, a biology teacher. Ushi thinks he's a pervert in disguise, but the teacher explains he was concerned after finding Ushi sitting in the bathroom for 2 hours. The teacher urges Ushi to confide in him, suggesting that 99% of boys' problems are related to girls. Ushi hesitates, but the teacher reassures him, claiming to be a love expert capable of solving any love-related issue. Ushi asks how the teacher knows about the confessions. Shockingly, the teacher smirks and pulls out his phone, revealing photos of the confessions. Ushi stares in disbelief, accusing him of being a pervert and a criminal. But the teacher admits he only took the photos today, solely because of Ushi. After initially declining the teacher's invitation, he persists, urging Ushi to follow him to the visual room. There, the teacher reveals videos recorded 30 years ago, leaving Ushi perplexed. The sensei instructs him to focus on a specific girl in the video. As the video plays, Ushi can't help but notice the girl's beauty. Despite feeling uneasy about invading her privacy, he continues watching. The video captures a confession, and to his surprise, it succeeds. He watches in fascination, pondering the complexities of relationships. But then, the next scene shocks him. He sees a girl extracting a strange energy from a man's body and tasting it with relish. The teacher explains that the girl is a love eater, a creature indistinguishable from humans until subtle differences were discovered after years of research. Shocked, Ushi stands up, asking to be excused. He believes in love eaters now, but can't fathom why these girls would confess to him. Approaching him, the sensei gently asks if he's ever experienced feelings for someone, moments when thoughts of a specific person brightened his day. Ushi is bewildered. He's always been afraid of girls, finding it impossible to imagine falling in love with them. Just as he's about to dismiss the idea, something stops him. The sensei suggests that there might be someone Ushi has feelings for, which could explain why he's been targeted. Love eaters are all about snagging those fresh, juicy feelings of first love. Apparently, high school is prime time for these emotional snacks, making him perfect prey. When those 4 girls confessed to Ushi, it wasn't genuine love they were after but that sweet, untouched first love vibe. The teacher emphasizes that their fundamental rule is to consume love emotions. Ushi feels a wave of sadness, realizing the confessions weren't driven by real love. The teacher's explanation leaves him disheartened. He struggles to comprehend the idea that these girls are only interested in consuming his love emotions. He further explains that their confessions mark the beginning. From now on, they'll pursue every possible way to make him fall in love with them. Ushi feels overwhelmed. Considering how frightening girls have always been to him, this new revelation is terrifying. He then asks what would happen if his love emotion was consumed, referencing the boy in the video who fainted after the extraction. The sensei solemnly replies that a person whose love emotion is eaten would never be able to fall in love again. The sensei shares all this because he wants Ushi's help in researching love eaters. As night falls, Ushi concludes his first love has been targeted. Now he knows what he has to do. He decides to employ his secret anti-evasion skill to avoid getting involved with the girls. Even if there's just a 1% chance his love emotion could be consumed, he considers girls terrifying, and love eaters are an even greater concern. He decides to end everything the next day by rejecting them all at once. However, when he reaches the locker room, he finds a new letter from a girl named Kana asks to meet him in a classroom after school. When he arrives, the same girl from this morning thanks him. He feels confused and worried. His usual counting technique is ineffective. She tries to explain the letter's content, but he is overwhelmed. Today has been strange and feels far from over. Paku expresses her feelings for him, asking if he would consider going out with her. Amidst the confusion, he realizes that of the 5 girls who confessed, only one is human. The other 4 are love eaters. He is in a panic, overwhelmed by the realization. 5 girls confessed their love, but only one is genuine. Despite deciding to reject them all, he notices Paku trembling. Paku asks him not to decide immediately and grants him time to think. As she leaves, he realizes that the real girl must have been very scared to confess. He decides to postpone his response until the next day. The following day, he gathers all the girls and gives them each a letter, explaining that he wants to find out who truly loves him. Ken yells at Oishi, questioning his intentions about dating a love eater. He even requests to capture the moment on camera. Oishi clarifies he's not acting blindly. One of the 5 girls is truly human. That's why Oishi needs time before giving a response. The girls suggest he go on dates with each of them to make a decision. One suggests dividing the weekdays among themselves. Gabu confidently declares she will win his heart no matter what. They play rock-paper-scissors to decide the order. Oishi, feeling a twinge of sadness, had expected them to react angrily, but they calmly propose dates. Reluctantly, he agrees to go on dates with each girl. The sensei warns that giving up is not in a love-eater's dictionary and asks to be informed if Oishi plans to let his emotions be consumed. Furious, Oishi asks what he should do on a date since he has no experience. The sensei hands him a book on dating, warning of the consequences. Even if one girl is genuine, falling for a fake will cost him his ability to love. Oishi, though scared, acknowledges the risk. He doesn't want to run away, he'll face both love and girls head-on. The sensei, half amused, likens him to a chicken jumping into the fire. Oishi laughs at the image but appreciates the sensei's support. He's advised to find the real girl who isn't a love-eater and to avoid getting consumed himself. The sensei reveals a new plan. Considering the possibility of rain the next day, he suggests Oishi text his date partner on Friday at 4:16. Oishi messages Kana to let her know he has arrived. As he looks at Kana suspiciously, wondering if she is a love-eater, he realizes he still struggles to make eye contact with girls. He knows he must address this to execute his plan properly. Kana takes his hand, saying the first step is to create a comfortable atmosphere. Oishi is shocked but agrees, feeling it's like a B-type date, meant for couples who already have a bond. He's unsure if he can handle such a date with someone he doesn't love. One thing he's certain of is he'll be drenched in sweat. Kana looks directly at him, making it hard for him to breathe. She asks where they should go for their date. Nervously, Oishi suggests hamburgers. Kana agrees enthusiastically, mentioning she likes hamburgers with a fat patty but thinks cheeseburgers are also a good choice. As she speaks, she opens her mouth wide, almost like she's about to eat something or someone. Oishi recalls the sensei's words about love-eaters having split tongues and resolves to pay close attention during their date, determined to uncover the truth. He proposes the hamburger strategy, where they'll try different hamburger shops to observe her tongue. Upon arrival, they find the restaurant closed. Feeling worn out and defeated, Oishi hides his disappointment. Without this observation, he's back to square one, unsure if Kana is human or a love-eater. Kana shows sadness at the closed store and suggests finding another one. She mentions a famous one nearby, but Oishi proposes his preferred restaurant instead. Kana agrees and follows him, but it turns out his choice is also closed. The situation becomes awkward as Oishi feels bad for making her walk so much. Despite everything, Kana holds his hand, making him feel guilty. He wonders if she truly likes him, considering all that has happened. They spot a hamburger restaurant that looks like a horror house. Oishi suggests they skip it, but Kana insists they go inside since it's right in front of them. Kana holds his hand tightly, urging him to go inside. She really wants a hamburger, so despite his reluctance, he follows her in. To his surprise, the interior is normal. As he orders and walks with the tray, he's curious about her background. Suddenly, two kids bump into him, causing him to stumble and almost hit Kana. He manages to avoid her but takes the fall himself. Kana looks shocked with her mouth open. Oishi tries to look inside her mouth but can't bring himself to do it. Feeling guilty, he apologizes for almost hitting her. People around them start making fun of him, calling him dirty and pitying Kana for dating him. Embarrassed, Oishi apologizes again, saying he's sorry for ruining their date and making her walk so much. Kana steps closer and kisses him, telling him he doesn't need to feel guilty since she enjoyed the hamburger. Oishi is confused and looks at her in shock. Kana moves closer again, teasingly asking if she should eat more to cheer him up. Oishi, overwhelmed with guilt, can't shake the feeling. Kana reassures him, saying she feels satisfied. Oishi recalls how tasty the hamburgers were but still couldn't see her tongue. Lost in thought, he hears her laugh. When he asks why she's laughing, Kana apologizes, saying his earlier expression made her tongue visible. She realizes that seeing her tongue no longer matters. Seeing her smile and happiness is enough for him. They reach the station, and Kana says her feelings for him have grown. Oishi is surprised. Kana asks if he thinks she's a love eater. She sits on a bench and, if he really wants to see her tongue, she'll show it to him. Kana slowly opens her mouth. Oishi squints into the darkness, trying to see but sees nothing. He tells her it's too dark and far away. Kana shrugs with a playful smile, teasing him about missing out. She realizes she's just messing with him, knowing he wouldn't be able to see anything. Frustrated but curious, Oishi steps closer, questioning why she knows about love eaters. Kana grins and pulls out her phone, revealing her fascination with the TSH Urban Legend channel. She explains the channel is dedicated to love eaters, and she's hooked on the videos. When she asks if Oishi likes them, he admits he doesn't watch the channel but stops short of revealing how he knows about love eaters. Sensing his hesitation, Kana probes further, curious about his source of information. She reminds him she showed her tongue, so he should share his secret. Feeling trapped, Oishi reluctantly agrees. He suggests they grab something to drink. Eventually, he spills everything, realizing wine wouldn't work with her. Kana listens intently, piecing together his quest to find the real girl among them. She questions if their date was part of this quest. Oishi, though hesitant, confirms it. Concerned about the potential fallout, he worries his actions might lead everyone to hate him. Kana ponders the consequences of falling in love with a love eater. She muses about the possibility of his emotions being consumed, leaving him unable to love again. Sharing her experiences, she describes love as the greatest feeling, one that colors everything. Kana laments the loneliness of not having love in her life. In a city brimming with love stories, Oishi feels torn and conflicted. He questions whether being liked is truly a positive experience. Canis advises him not to waste time searching for the one, suggesting he'll meet many lovers in high school. Despite this, Oishi earnestly declares his intention to marry someone he truly loves. The statement even sounds strange to him, revealing love's power over his thoughts. Suddenly, Lo stands up, asking him to determine the genuineness of her feelings himself. She thanks him for the coffee and requests another date, leaving Oishi in a state of contemplation. As she walks away, Oishi feels a mix of relief and confusion. He worries that he made a mistake by confiding in her. The idea that love eaters might be hiding among humans leaves him uneasy. What if they discover he's onto them? Reflecting on his actions, Oishi wonders if it's wise to trust Kona. Deep down, he wants to believe she isn't a love eater, but the uncertainty gnaws at him. The potential consequences weigh heavily on his mind. Meanwhile, Ken, despite knowing Oishi's fear of girls, finds herself drawn to his kindness and honesty. Suddenly, she extends her tongue, revealing her true self and expressing her desire to devour him. The burn from the hot coffee adds to the intensity of the moment. As a love eater, Ken can sense a person's essence, especially those with delicious emotions. From the moment she met Oishi, she sensed his lack of experience with love, making him an enticing target. She believed other girls were like her, driven by instinct to consume emotions. But Oishi is different, a genuine human. His pure-hearted nature could lead him to fall in love with someone real, making his love potentially bitter to love eaters. Feeling compelled to make him fall in love with her, Ken apologizes, admitting her ignorance about love emotions. She reveals they've only been sustenance for her kind, showing a vulnerability she's never displayed. Returning home, her thoughts are consumed by Oishi. Even during her bath and as she tries to sleep, she can't forget him. Oishi, on the other hand, spends the weekend in turmoil, restless and unable to relax. He tries to figure out who among the girls is the real one and who might be a love-eater. The uncertainty and contemplation blur the weekend, leaving him more confused than ever. When Monday arrives, Ushi receives a text asking him to meet his next partner, M, at the gym. Uncertainty looms as he prepares to confront the mystery once again. He's unsure whether Momori is the real one or another love-eater. Momori arrives at the gym, deeply engrossed in her basketball game. Ushi reflects on his date with Kona from the previous Friday and hopes Momori is the human, leaving Kona as the potential love-eater. After Momori finishes her game, she approaches Ushi and apologizes for possibly boring him with her hour-long practice session. Ushi feels a pang of anxiety, worried he might seem creepy for watching her intently. Momori reassures him, saying she practices alone since she has no classes that day. Ushi awkwardly admits he's been thinking about their upcoming date. To his surprise, Momori winks at him, teasingly suggesting her practice has been part of their date all along. She emphasizes that every moment together is significant. Ushi starts to feel that Momori might be the genuine human among the girls. However, he hesitates to ask her to show her tongue to confirm, knowing it could make her uncomfortable and jeopardize their budding connection. Momori invites Ushi to play basketball with her. He politely declines, admitting he's never played before. Momori playfully convinces him he would be a natural, even better than Jordan. Ushi smiles at her enthusiasm, though he doesn't know anyone named Jordan. He appreciates her encouragement and declines her offer, saying watching her play is enjoyable enough. After Momori finishes practicing, she asks Ushi to wait while she continues. He worries he might have dampened the mood by not joining her, especially since he doesn't understand basketball's rules. Momori eventually finishes and comes out looking happy. Ushi discreetly observes the tip of her tongue, remembering his decision to find a suitable spot for their date. He notices a cafe across the street and thinks it would be a good choice. Suddenly, Momori shouts that she wants to try the new red caviar drink from a nearby vending machine. Ushi is intrigued by the name and tells her it sounds interesting. Momori laughs, mentioning that others say it tastes terrible but insists they should find it together, turning it into a fun mission. Though he finds it odd that she wants to try something known to taste bad, Ushi follows her nonetheless. Momori leads him to a back alley, saying they might find it there. He is skeptical but follows her. They find a kebab shop, and Momori asks if he wants one. After that, she takes a different drink from the machine and starts sipping it. Ushi reminds her that she wanted to try the caviar drink, not something else. Her behavior makes him think she's really weird, even if she isn't a love-eater. Suddenly, Momori shouts for him to look at the snake in front of them. Ushi is shocked and exclaims that just calling it the snake is an understatement. The vendor offers him the chance to carry the snake for 100 yen. Ushi ponders that a roadside snake could be dangerous and imagines a large fee to remove it if things go wrong. Realizing this, Ushi decides to politely reject the offer before he can say anything. Momori runs towards the man, asking if she can hold the snake. She lets the snake coil around her neck and asks Ushi if she looks cool. He thinks she's the complete opposite of him, she wants to enjoy things she doesn't understand. The snake man starts crying, saying Momori is the first to accept him and his snakes, so he won't charge her. Momori thinks he's a kind old soul. As they walk, Momori confesses she's actually afraid of the snake but enjoys trying things that scare her for the thrill. She adds she wants to experience having a hawk on her arm and a parrot on her shoulder. Ushi wonders if she has a list of animal encounters she wants to try. After walking a while, they find the caviar drink. Momori asks Ushi to order something for himself so they can drink together. She suggests they play basketball together, and Ushi asks her to teach him the rules first. Through the date with Momori, he realizes he cares about her and wants her to be human. As they drink the caviar drink, they both find it terrible. Momori sticks her tongue out, but Ushi misses the chance to look at it. She then expresses her desire to be selfish and wants him to like her after just one date. She asks what kind of image she holds in front of him, considering he's the famous boy who got confessed to by 5 girls in a single day. Ushi replies he doesn't know since he hasn't spent much time with girls. Momori asks if this is what a hunk looks like, but Ushi disagrees. He believes true first love doesn't look like this and thinks there is just one person who truly likes him. Though his mind is preoccupied with love eaters, Ushi wonders who the right person might be. Suddenly, he asks Momori if they've met before, specifically during the school entrance ceremony. He believes the person he met then couldn't have been a love eater. Just as Momori is about to answer, her phone rings. She excuses herself, saying her mother is waiting for her for dinner. Momori leaves, saying it wasn't their first meeting. Ushi can't believe he might have met Momori before, which makes him think she might be human. However, he also thinks Kona is human, so he wonders if Momori is lying. When Ushi returns home, he feels more confused than ever. It's his first time dating, and the date with Momori ends with him still unsure of anything. A new beginning awaits with a date on Tuesday with his next partner. The next day, Q thinks about his upcoming date with Hino Gaburi, who attended the same elementary school as him. He wonders if she might be a love eater, questioning why she didn't approach him when they were younger and suddenly confessed her love now. As his suspicion grows, Tsukimori suddenly covers his eyes and playfully asks him to guess who it is. He quickly answers and watches his worried face. She asks if everything is alright, but he denies it, saying there's nothing to worry about. Tsukimori then asks if he's getting something to eat from the school store, and he says yes. While talking to her, Q thinks if Hino is human, then maybe Tsukimori could be a love eater too. To check, he starts a normal conversation, asking if she's also getting something to eat. Tsukimori replies that she brought her lunchbox, but it's not enough. Q responds, saying it's normal to get hungry after club activities. Tsukimori grabs a yakisoba pan, and Q asks if she can finish it. Tsukimori says she's not sure, but she's hungry right now. She mentions that her day started badly because her horoscope, Libra, had the worst fortune today. All the traffic lights on her way to school were red, but seeing his smile made her day super lucky. Q blushes as Tsukimori goes to her friends. He thinks he shouldn't be happy and must keep his emotions in check. When he turns around, Kasani is standing right behind him. Kasani asks if he's buying something from the store. Q asks if she's buying something too, thinking of running away. Kasani replies that she came to buy tea. She then asks how his search for the love eater is going. Q, avoiding her gaze, says he doesn't know anything, but Kasani catches his lie. She says it's easy to read him, and he denies lying, but she interrupts him. Kasani says that he's an honest person, and anyone sincere to a fault would be easy to read. She adds that she knows at least one good thing about the person she loves. Seeing him blush, she asks if her comment made him happy and then leaves. As she walks away, Q wonders if Kasani is really a love eater. After school, Q thinks about whether Hino, Kasani, or Tsukimori could be the real love eater. He starts to believe that all the confessions made to him are just to eat his love emotions. He wonders if love eaters are the only thing he should fear. Then, he decides it's no use thinking about it and that he's finally close to finding out who the real love eater is. He arrives at the place where he promised to meet Hino, but she doesn't show up and isn't replying to his messages. While waiting, he suddenly feels the urge to use the toilet. On his way, he sees someone confessing their love to Hino. He hides behind a wall, thinking she's late because of the confession. He then hears that the person who confessed to Hino was rejected because she likes someone else. Q thinks she's talking about him. But then he sees Hino kiss the person and consume his love emotions. Realizing that Hino is a love eater, he's shocked to see that she noticed him watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and share for more content. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a part 2.